Welcome to Living Magically. I'm your host, Magical Michelle, and we have a very potent full moon this week to work with. And I just want to start with, I know there's a lot of heaviness in the energy, and you're going to get that kind of intensity anytime you have a Leo full moon. There is definitely the end of the season that we're in, because we're in the last week of our powerful Aquarian energy, and we have this potent full moon. We see this peaking out on the 12th at 8:53 or 56 in the morning on the 12th. So you're gonna see that. I'm recording this live on Monday, but you might be hearing it on Tuesday or Wednesday. All of this week, you're going to see the accumulation of that Leo energy. And Leo's a fixed sign, and it's fixed fire. So with the air energy, we're in our mind a lot, and we're seeing a lot of transition, a lot of change happening in the zodiac. We'll have the beginning of Pisces season next week. So you're seeing the end of the Aquarian month, and it comes in with this big punch. What I always see anytime we have the Leo full moon is an illumination, right? And that illumination comes in on how are we taking care of ourselves. The Leo energy is a little self-centered, and we're allowed to be self-centered. And so I have my little Valentine's Day heart here, and you guys are always seeing me with my heart-shaped glasses, and the energy is, how are we taking care of ourselves the most? How are we putting self-love, self-reflection, self-care into perspective? Are we seeing ourselves through love-colored glasses? Are we seeing ourselves through the energy of fierce protection? The lion has the courage. It has the idea of, how am I courageous right now? How am I going to be a leader right now? And we lead through the heart, and we lead through our own divine birthright. So you're also, the lion has that sovereignty, the king of the forest. And so how are you the king or queen of the sovereignty of yourself? That's like the first half of the week. How are you seeing yourself? How are you taking radical care of yourself? How are you going into self-love and self-expression and rest? There's, with all this astrological stuff, you're seeing a need to maybe even in inward and rest. I've seen a lot of people being a little bit irritable with the Mars retrograde, and this feeling of the need to be able to express yourself, and sort of having the feeling of not being able to express yourself. So take a pause. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Take a moment, make sure that what you're saying and how you're saying it is the way you want to be perceived right now. So first half of the week and up to the full moon is going to be about magic and manifestation. What are you calling in? What are you attracting? And remember, we attract with our vibration. What are we projecting out into the world? What is our own personal frequency? So if you're in that place of agitation and that place of disillusionment, come back in, ground, center, get back into the love vibration, because with this intensity, we're going to magnify whatever feeling we're having. So if we're feeling irritated, if we're feeling worn down or unrested, then we're going to get exactly what we're putting out into the field. But if we're coming back to relaxed and self-loved and projecting love and projecting the energy of our divineness and our energy of the king or queen of our world, if we're projecting the energy of love and we're being part of our own solution, then we're going to attract back the solutions. We're going to attract back people who want to be part of our world. And you're going to see that sort of hit with this full moon. So the full moon's full Wednesday morning. So attraction energy for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning, but release energy on Wednesday night and Thursday, letting go and releasing what is not working for us as we move toward the end of the week. We're going to see our self-shifting energy next week as we go into a new sign, as we get into the water, as we get into the dream state with Pisces. So right now with Leo, it is more about that action of self-reflection and self-actualization. Then you have the end of the week, which is going to be more romantic. It is a perfect time for you to then move. If you take care of yourself at the beginning of the week, you're going to see the end of the full moon and the second half of the week being more social, being more gregarious. Once we've taken care of ourselves, we can take care of others. And yet I think you're going to see a little less romance this weekend and a little bit more of that resonation. Anytime you're the vibration and resonation with a person of like minds. You're going to want to be around people that think like you, feel like you, and share that love. And so there might be more Valentine's days and more friend experiences, and you might even see more shared dates where instead of a couple going super romantic, you might see them including their friends or their family. You might see some more family Valentine's Day, or people spending time with their deep friendships instead. That's just the energy this year of where it falls on Valentine's Day. And yet, if you are looking for your divine compatible soulmate, this full moon in Leo is the perfect time to do a little bit of magic where you write out what you want, and you maybe light a candle, and you really set your intentions for that soulmate to be vibrating towards you. So it's a good week for soulmate magic. It's a good week for magic where we're communicating better with our partners and our loved ones, whether that's friends, family, business partners, soul friends. And it's also a good time in the magic to call in people who vibrate at your same frequency. So a lot of good magic this week. A lot of noticing the synchronicities where maybe you're going to see yourself calling in your tribe. Maybe you're going to be wanting to spend more time with like-minded people. And if you're in a toxic situation, you're going to want to get out of it really, really fast. You're going to be like no tolerance zone for being around people who you don't want to be around. It's going to be like, oh, thanks, that was nice, I want to get out. So you might limit your interactions with people that are not the right frequency. And to do that, I would just say, maybe if you have to spend time with them, maybe pick a movie or an activity which you're talking about the activity and not so much about our real lives. So if you have to spend time with negative people, maybe pick something that you're doing instead of just one-on-one, like dinner, where you don't really want to talk to that person and go down a negative rabbit hole. Pick something which is an activity. So you're doing something like creating art, or going to a movie, or something else where you're talking about the thing you're doing versus what's going on in your lives. And that's just a really good piece this week, is that you want to be creative. there is an energy with this Leo full moon about creativity and expansion of the mind. Even though it's a fixed sign, it's fire. So what lights you up? What ignites you? And what is going to bring that creative life force energy to light for you? So it's a good week. It really is. And so really be aware of choosing for yourself what is going to bring joy and light to you, and be really discerning about planning something and whether you really want to do it. And it's a good week to exercise your true full body yes and your true full body no, because if it's not a heck yes, it's a no. If you are like, I don't know if I really want to do that, say no. If you're a maybe on something, say no. And it's a good week to just, express yourself with your truth. There's a lot of interesting pieces falling to place right now. And with the Uranus stuff that's going on, don't be surprised if there's some big surprises. So if you are surprised at something that's going on, remember that is where Uranus is falling into the charts right now. It's all about surprises. And we always think of surprise as bad, but you might actually be surprised by something really good. So be open to new suggestions, be open to inspiration and new ideas coming through, and take action on them. If you get a new idea, don't wait. Go forward without fear. Go do the thing as quickly as you possibly can. Put into action, because Leo's all about taking that fiery action forward. And so is Aquarius. Aquarius is all about new thought and moving forward. So the combination of Leo, and so the sun being in Aquarius and Leo being where the moon's going to be, is about seeing something with clear sight and taking some fiery, fast action. And so if there's a big surprise come in and you get an opportunity and it seems like a synchronicity, go hop right on it. And again, remember, your full body lights up. That's a yes. Your full body contracts. That's a no. And definitely do what you have to honor your no right now. And I've also heard some people saying they're feeling powerless and that there's a lot going on. And I want you to remember that our mind controls our frequency, and our heart creates our vibration. So get into meditation and remember the brain-heart connection and how that creates the field of your frequency. So really get heart-centered and visualize how you desire the world to be. Do your best to get out of fear thought processes and to envision and anchor what it is you want to see, what it is you want to do. And a couple of interesting things that are going on. A couple of movements you may or may not have heard about. One is the blue bracelet movement. If you are someone who is a safe place and you want to just show your support, one of the things that people are doing right now is wearing a blue bracelet. Mine happens to be blue lapis lazuli, and it's showing that there's more of us out there. It's just kind of a symbol right now that you're holding on to the timeline of love and the timeline of that change is going to come in a way that brings love and unity consciousness. The other is the red lipstick movement. So you might see me wearing a lot of red lipstick lately and going forward, because it is an act of and symbol of that sovereignty. We have Elizabeth Arden to thank for bringing it into the women's suffrage movement in the early 1900s. And then we see her also providing lipstick to those who are in World War II, the women who were either working in the factories or in the military were all wearing red lipstick to show their support and to be part of the movement for forward thinking. And it goes all the way back to the 1700s, where red lipstick was worn by witches, or at least women who were sovereign in their own mind. And what I want to do is just define the word sovereignty. A sovereign nation is a nation that doesn't have to answer to anyone. And so when you're talking about a sovereign human, it means that you are fully answering to your own self. So the red lipstick really is a sign of a little bit of defiance and a little bit of power, like the Leo of I am the queen and I am holding my power. So this week's full moon is all about courage and power. And so whatever it is you might be doing to put yourself into your sovereignty, to put yourself into courage. And so the red lipstick for me is that sovereignty, and that is about courage, and so is the blue bracelet. So what is it you're going to be doing about gaining your courage and taking that action step to be part of your own world and to be empowering yourself and to empower others? That's the king and queen energy, which is that of a love leader. That is leadership. And when we're in leadership, we are leading with the eyes of love, through the lens of love. And that is happening more than we can see right now. Move past, beyond the surface, to tap into the energy, because the energy of spiritual unification is part of the new movement of this time. The age of Aquarius is all about seeing that unity consciousness come forward. And sometimes it's a little bit dark before the dawn, but remember, through our hearts, our unified field is created. And on the same note as candles for candle magic, I have created maybe my favorite workshop that I've ever designed, which is all going to be wrapped around candle magic. So the last weekend in March, I think it's over the 20th, for the 20th, 21st, and 22nd, I am doing a spring equinox candle magic shaman workshop that is all about the different kinds of way we can do magical candles. That's everything from dressing them, doing candle scrying, and even making them from scratch. And it'll be a beautiful weekend experienced here in Orlando, Florida, in my magical household. So either in my home or my backyard, depending on the weather. So because it is at my home, it is very limited space. So if it's something you're interested in, please get signed up for it right away, because like I said, it will be a limited space, and that kind of stuff tends to sell out really fast. So if that's something you're interested, please join us here for the spring equinox, which is one of my favorite holidays, because it is all about finding balance within our bodies, our minds, and our spirit as we move into high growth season. And that is the 6 months between the spring equinox and the fall equinox, where the sun is in the sky longer than the darkness. So as we move from this time, we have passed the point where the sun just keeps getting getting more every single day, and we are seeing more and more light every single day. And we're in that time right now of illumination of the full moon in Leo. So remember, you are more powerful than you have ever known. You are what you think. It is beyond your mind. So hold and remember to think about what you desire, how you want it to turn out, instead of with fear. They want you to be afraid, because with fear, we lower our vibration. With hope and desire and manifestation, we hold the vibration of the future we want, the future we desire. So it's a perfect week for that kind of illumination magic. I will be playing with my heart-shaped tea lights that I got off of the internet. And I think you can buy them at Walgreens too, little heart-shaped red tea lights. And, you know, I'm just going to be playing with the magic of love. This whole week is about love, self-love, loving others, loving the world, and loving the consciousness of this planet. So remember, you have more power than you think if you just hold your frequency to the power and the lens of love. Just remind yourself that you are part of the solution, and remind yourself that you're choosing the timeline that you're on. And that timeline, with this powerful full moon, has an opportunity for you to anchor what you truly desire in place. And again, that's at 8:53 on Wednesday the 12th, and that's the Eastern Standard Time. So working on that desire all the way up until that day, and then on that Wednesday evening, Thursday, letting go, maybe write it down and do a little fire and let go what is no longer serving you, and let go of any fear, limitation, and blocks, and own your power, own your sovereignty, own your vision. That's what the full moon in Leo is all about. So I'm wishing you an absolutely magical week, and I will see you again next Monday, and we'll talk about Pisces season.